Welcome, Transformer fans. My name is Composite Enerjoe, and today's review is on the Transformers War for Cybertron Kingdom Deluxe Class Paleotrex. And here he is in his alt mode, which is a fossilized T-Rex skeleton. And yeah, it's pretty original, I'll give it that. Never thought I'd actually see essentially a skeleton transformer, but here it is. And yeah, it's actually pretty cool. Pretty nice. I think if you put this next to, I think this could actually pass off, and I think that's what they were going for. This could pass off as an actual skeleton for Megatron, the Dino Leader class Megatron of the Kingdom line. I feel that this would actually scale well with that in the sense that this could be the skeleton. Oh, maybe that's what they were going for, that this is the skeleton that Megatron scanned to get his alt mode. But yeah, Paleotrex. So, looks pretty good. Nice details, nice weathering. Pretty good all around. And since this is a beast mode, I get to show off some articulation, which he has quite a bit of. His little T-Rex hands are on ball joints. The head can go up and down. The jaws can open and close. Nice detail on the teeth. Tail can go up and down. Legs have quite a bit of articulation. They go all the way around, out, in. Bend at the knee. Well, double bend at the knee, kind of. There's a swivel here. And a swivel here, up and down, and a toe. And a toe. So yeah, he does have quite a bit of articulation, which is nice. Now, a Paleotrex here is something called a fossilizer, which I may have briefly mentioned in a previous video of mine. But yes, he is essentially the Kingdom version of the, what was it called? What was in Earthrise, the modulators, and what was in Siege, the weaponizers. He's more towards the weaponizer side of things. Essentially, to transform him, you have to take him apart and then reassemble him into his robot mode. But his separate components can be used as armor weapons, and gear for other Transformers. So, let me take him apart into his base components. So, we have this. This whole concept, for me anyway, it's a love-hate relationship, sort of similar to that of like Headmasters, where I get the idea, I like the idea of it, but but I'm not a huge fan of the execution, because I feel that it kind of defeats the purpose if I have to like reassemble it. Take this off, and then one more piece is this up here. There we go. So these are the separate, as you can see, the separate components. So if only we had somebody who could, test this out. Hey, it's Ironhide. I don't care if it doesn't make any sense. Ironhide here, since Ironhide is my weapon specialist, so I get to test out any new gear with him. And funny enough, it still works. So, pretty much, there's no official way to do this. I think in the instructions, they might give you an example, but it's pretty much left to your imagination. So, it's up to you. You decide what you want this gear to look at on somebody. So, I'm going to show you one configuration I kind of liked. So, I like putting the head on his arm, because it kind of reminds me of Dino Megatron. I think I liked having this little thing here as a shield, like a little buckler. Like so. This, I think I folded down and just had it on his back. Like so. I had it like this. Like so. And then I believe I added these pieces here. And the idea is these kind of serve as shoulder cannons. So we have a backpack shoulder cannons, a T-Rex arm, which could serve as either a melee weapon or a blaster, similar to Dino Megatron. We have a little shield here. I think for the rest of this, I think the rest of this, I had it like this. Wait a minute. Whoops. How did I have this? I think it was something like this. Yeah, it was something like this. This served as like a melee weapon. Like one big sword, so to speak, like a sword axe. And then this piece, which funny thing about this piece, if you're familiar with the original Beast Wars, the original Beast Wars, what was it called? Mega Class? I'm pretty sure it was Mega Class. Mega Class, Optimus Primal. He did come with a sort of mace weapon that looked just like this. In fact, I think this is based off of that weapon. He never used it in the show, but it was on the toy. It was hidden in like the right arm compartment where he would pull out. It was on a string, and it was essentially a skull weapon, a skull attached to a string as a mace. So this replicates that, which is kind of neat. And for Ironhide here, I'm just gonna have it be here on his shoulder. Like so. And this is just one of many configurations you can do. This is one that I personally like. And yeah, even I have to admit, I'm not gonna lie, the whole fossil idea, I think at first I kind of liked it, but then I think when they started getting released and I started looking into them, I wasn't a huge fan. And then this guy, basically I kept seeing this guy everywhere, and when he finally went on sale, I decided to get him. And you know what? I don't regret the purchase, since he's actually a lot more fun than I expected. And that's pretty much it for Ironhide. So he's done testing it. And yeah, so now let's get this guy into his components again. And now we recombine them to put him into his robot mode. Never knew that had a swivel. Okay. This is actually almost there. You just gotta rotate it. Oops, rotate it. Well, not really rotate it, flip it. Bring out the heels, flip this up. This is now the lower half. And then you get the torso, which is this, believe it or not. Fold this down, put it in. This piece becomes the chest. And even this, you can sort of reconfigure any number of ways. And apparently there's like a lot of potential with combining with the other fossilizers, or even combining with more copies of himself, which is really neat. I've seen videos on it, and it looks pretty interesting. But this is what I'm showing you is essentially what is in the instructions on how to get him into his proper vehicle mode, his proper robot mode. All right, you got the long arms. Put it all the way down. And then this is actually not done. You then lift this up to reveal his actual robot mode face. This is actually more of a battle mask, which I think this whole mask feature, I think, is present in all of the fossilizers. I believe so. And then this, you can either store it here, then there's a notch for it, or he just holds it like a weapon. I like holding it like it's like a little spine club. And yeah, here is Paleotrex in his robot mode. Pretty, not the biggest fan of it, to be honest. I think when they finally revealed the robot mode is where I kind of like shied away, because I'm not the biggest fan of this. I mean, it's all right. But again, the modular nature of it does help, so you can kind of like move this around, have the axe be an arm, maybe have the tail. Like, you can really have fun with it, and it's very interesting. It surprised me. I was pleasantly surprised by the actual fun factor that this figure has, and I'm assuming the other fossilizer would also have. I still have no actual plans of getting the other ones. This one was just sort of a right place at the right time is why I got it. So take a look at that head sculpt, which looks really cool. It's a very knight-esque, and like I said, this is a battle mask, seems to be. Very cool. As you can see, the head is on a swivel, so might as well go from there for articulation. Arm goes all the way around, all the way around, out in, swivel there, bend, swivel, a little bit of finger articulation there. There is a waist. Legs go out that far, forward, back. Bit of a swivel there, and not a bend at the knee, and then a side bend here because he doesn't have an ankle, so this is kind of his ankle. So his knee bends to the side to represent an ankle pivot. And yeah, it's all right. I'm not gonna lie. I think this robot mode is I think this is the weakest part of the figure. I actually find the beast mode to be a whole lot more interesting, since it looks really much basically like a skeleton. It's very well done. Very well done. So let's get some size comparisons here. Here is Ratchet and Cliff Jumper. And another thing I don't like is that these the skeleton nature of these figures make them I think a little too thin for my liking. Hold on. And then let's bring back Ironhide, and as you can see, Ironhide is significantly bigger. So yeah, now I think Ironhide is a slightly, let's bring it back in. Yeah, he's on the larger side of Deluxe's, but still. I know it's not really a fair comparison, but still. It's one of those things where I don't like that this guy's a bit too small for my liking. But yeah, overall, he's an okay figure. I don't regret getting him, but I didn't have any initial plans of really getting him. It's just sort of, again, right place at the right time. But he's okay, and I feel that you can have a lot of fun with him, and even with the other ones. But again, don't expect me to really get them. And I wouldn't be surprised if after me saying this, I end up getting them. But who knows? Again, who knows where the wind may take us? That makes no sense, but I do not care. So yeah, this has been my review of the Transformers War for Cybertron Kingdom Deluxe Class Paleotrex, the fossilizer, who's a Predacon, apparently. And before signing off, here's my special person's Instagram. Please check it out. There's mine if you're curious. Hers is more important. And this is Composite Enerjoe signing off. Peace out and be safe.